All right, guys, Darren from FBA Elites, and welcome back to another video. So in this week's video, we're going to be discussing something that impacts both new sellers and existing sellers, and it's something that they often both overlook. It's a very, very simple thing to do, and if you don't take it into consideration, it can impact how difficult it is to become an Amazon FBA bestseller. So what we're talking about is the actual bestseller badge itself. So it's something you guys have probably come across as a shopper. And if you've been researching FBA for any amount of time, you've probably seen this as well in some of the product research you've been doing. But let's just take the lunch bag niche as an example. Now, if you caught one of my videos from probably over a year or so now, where I revealed one of the products that I never actually launched, and that was the lunch bag. This is a niche I'm very familiar with, but I'm just going to use it as an example in this video to talk about the bestseller badge and give you guys something to think about when choosing the right category for your product. So when you carry out a search for a particular product on Amazon, within the search results, you'll generally see two badges. You'll see the Amazon's Choice badge, and you'll also see the Best Seller badge. So there's an example there. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that sometimes you'll see more than one bestseller badge, and quite often it is something you'll see towards the top. There'll be 2 or 3 products next to each other, all with the bestseller badge, which makes it really hard to know which one to choose as they've all got the bestseller badge. But in this example, this one's a bit further down the page. There should be some other examples, I would imagine, if I keep going. Yep, there we've got a bestseller there. And we've got another one there. And there's probably some more if I keep scrolling down. So how can you actually have multiple bestsellers within the same set of search results? Well, for those of you that aren't aware, the bestseller badge is awarded based on you having the top sales within the category that you choose when you create your product listing. So within this search results, there can be products from multiple categories, even though you're actually looking for a particular thing. It doesn't mean you're only going to find results from one category. So if we just open these as an example, this one here is #1 in both lunch bags and picnic bags. So let's open both of those categories. We'll scroll down and find those other products that we just looked at briefly. So this one here, this one is #1 in kids lunch boxes. And I think there's a third one. There we go. This is #1 in lunch boxes. So it's important to do this research before you choose the category, as for many products that you sell on Amazon, your product can actually go into a variety of categories. You can actually choose which one maybe seems the best fit on paper, but actually there may be a better choice when it comes to the bestseller badge. Now, there will be certain products which just have to go into a particular category because there's no other viable alternative. But for something like this, as we've already seen 3 or 4 different categories that these lunch bags are listed within. But let's just go through these products and I can talk you through the difference between them and then which category you might want to consider going for. So we've got bestseller in lunch bags, bestseller in picnic bags, bestseller in kids lunch boxes, and bestseller in lunch boxes. So 4 different categories. So say you're entering this niche with either a lunch bag or a lunch box, which category should you choose? So what I would do is go to each category. As we've already got open, then I'd run Helium 10 or whichever extension you like to use. I always recommend Helium 10, you guys know that. I'll pop up some discount codes and include it in the description and top comment as well. So what I'll do is I'll go through and run Helium 10 on all of these products. So in order for you to win the bestseller badge within this category, you would have to outsell the top seller. Now that is no mean feat, getting nearly 5,600 units sold per month. So I would probably avoid that category because there is very little chance, or it would be very, very difficult to hit those sort of sales figures. So let's just take the next example, and I'm just going to run Helium 10 on all 3 of these products quickly so that you guys don't have to wait and see me do this. And in this category, the top seller is the same listing. So because this listing actually exists in more than one category, you can see here it's the same person, 5585 at the top. So they're dominating both of those categories. Now, in theory, it's only possible to add your product to one category in Amazon. So if you ask me how they're going to do this, I couldn't give you an answer. My understanding is it used to be possible to add your product to multiple nodes, which is what Amazon call categories, but they removed that functionality. And now in theory, it should only be possible to add your product to a single category. But this one in this instance is actually assigned to 2 different categories, and that's why it's popping up at the top of both of the results. So let's just take the next category and see what we have here. So this one, this is 356. So to outsell these guys will be a lot easier. Now, whether you can get away with, I believe this is the kids lunchbox niche category. Yeah, there we go, the kids lunchboxes. Now, whether you can get away with putting your lunch bag or your lunchbox in this category and it's still making any sense, that would depend on the actual product you're selling. But certainly people could jump into this category. This doesn't necessarily look like a kid's lunchbox to me,
but they're doing it as an easy way to get the bestseller badge. And just finally, we have this other category here, and the top seller is 4,328. So this one would be very slightly easier than the first two I showed you, but definitely the kids' lunch boxes would be something to consider if you can get away with it. And you'll see this in many, many niches. There'll be multiple categories, and you just need to find the one where to get the bestseller badge, you need to generate the lowest sales. So it's getting, just over 350 sales is a lot easier than getting nearly 6,000 sales. It's what you need in those other categories. So that's a tip for any new or existing sellers. When you add your product to Amazon, consider which category you're putting in, as it will make it much easier to get the bestseller badge, the lower the sales that the top existing sellers currently have. Now, just one final thing before I sign off this video. I will be announcing something very big on this channel in the coming weeks. I've been working on a project for the best part of, I started it in January and we're at the end of April now. So the best part of 3 to 4 months I've been working on this project, and I'm going to be announcing it on the channel in the next week or two. It probably won't be next week, maybe the week after, depending on how things go. But if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get an alert when I make that announcement. If you found this video useful and you now know which category to choose for your product, make sure you scroll down and hit that like button. And if you want to talk to me and over 3,000 other Amazon FBA sellers, go to FBAelite.com, sign up, it's completely free. Go to the forum sections. I'm on there most days replying to questions, and I'll see you guys on the forums.